You think Halloween is about candy, costumes, and jump scares? You're wrong. It started here in Hollow Ridge, a town that celebrates death, not life. Tonight, you'll see what really happens when the lanterns light up. Don't say I didn't warn you. The story begins with a man named Elijah Crane, a photographer who didn't believe in ghosts, curses, or the old legends. He came to Hollow Ridge to capture what locals called the Lantern Walk, a Halloween tradition where the townspeople leave glowing lanterns on the hill to guide lost souls home. It sounded poetic, harmless even, until Elijah noticed something the locals didn't mention. The lanterns were always one more than the number of people in the town. When he asked why, everyone just went quiet. On the night of October 31st, he set up his camera by the ridge, wind howling through the trees like whispers. The air smelled of wet soil and iron. Children laughed in the distance, but their laughter echoed too long, too hollow. The first lantern flickered to life, then another, then dozens, floating gently like fireflies. But as the lights glowed brighter, the fog thickened, rolling in slow and heavy, swallowing sound. Through his camera lens, Elijah saw shadows moving between the lanterns, tall, twisted shapes, bending unnaturally. He blinked, looked again. Nothing. Just the fog. But the camera recorded something else. Faint outlines of faces, distorted, screaming silently, reaching toward the light. At midnight, every lantern turned red. Elijah thought it was a trick of the light until he realized the glow wasn't tea coming from candles. It was coming from eyes, human eyes. He stumbled back, heart pounding, and his camera slipped, tumbling into the grass. When he bent to grab it, he noticed footprints, dozens of them, leading towards the forest. Only they weren't fresh. They were sunk deep, like something had stepped there long ago and never left. From the woods came a faint hum, a melody that sounded like weeping turned into song. He followed it, flashlight trembling in his hand, until he reached an old, crumbling church covered in ivy and moss. Its doors were half open, swinging gently with the wind. Inside, hundreds of lanterns burned in perfect rows, each one with a name carved into it. He found his breath freezing as he read the last one. Elijah Crane. He hadn't carved it. He hadn't even been here before. His flashlight flickered, and behind him, he heard the sound of footsteps. Slow, dragging, deliberate. He turned, and in that brief second of light, he saw figures, pale and eyeless, their faces hollowed, their mouths twisted into faint smiles. They wore what looked like old funeral clothes, and in their hands, they carried broken cameras. The humming grew louder. No, not humming. It was a voice whispering his name again and again like a chant. He ran, bolting through the fog, tripping over roots until the ground vanished beneath him. He hit something soft, leaves, damp earth, and realized he'd fallen into an open grave. The soil smelled fresh. His name was carved into the headstone above him. He clawed at the dirt, but unseen hands gripped his wrists, pulling him down, whispering, "Now your lantern will burn." He screamed, the earth swallowing his voice, the light fading as the lanterns turned black. The next morning, the townsfolk found his camera near the ridge. Every photo was overexposed except one, a perfect shot of the hill covered in fog with a single new lantern glowing at the top. That night, there were no festivals, no laughter, only silence. The sheriff sealed off the ridge, but each year after that, another lantern appeared. No one lit it. No one dared touch it. Some said they heard voices when the wind blew, the cries of people long gone, begging to be remembered. Others swore they saw a man standing on the hill, holding a camera, his eyes glowing red through the mist. And here's where it gets darker. 2 years later, a YouTuber named Amber came to Hollow Ridge to make a real ghost hunt video. She watched Elijah's footage online, convinced it was fake, and wanted to prove it. She streamed everything live, the hike, the ridge, the lanterns. All jokes and laughs, until the feed started glitching. Viewers commented that a figure was walking behind her, but she never turned around. The stream ended abruptly at midnight. Police found her phone the next morning, still recording, battery dead, lens cracked. In the final frame, just before it cut, you can see her reflection in a lantern. Only she's smiling wide, and her eyes are red. Now, locals say the curse spreads to anyone who watches the footage too long. That's why the original video was taken down. Every person who watched it to the end went missing within days. The official reports call it mass hysteria. But the people of Hollow Ridge know better. They know the lanterns choose who joins them. Those who wander, those who doubt, those who can't resist looking into the dark. So tonight, when you see the soft flicker of a lantern in the distance, don't go near it. Don't take pictures. Don't even blink. Because once the lantern sees you, it remembers. It always remembers. And when it burns again next Halloween, it might burn for you.